Alrighty guys, so now that we know what like terms are, our main task or reason for this is so that we can combine like terms and really get expressions to be as simplified as possible. If you think back to the definition card, to combine like terms, we basically just add coefficients. But sometimes when you've got this like long string with a bunch of terms within them, we can sort of organize our thinking by using the commutative property first. So that's what I'm going to model, and then you're going to work at your tables to do the other two independently. So first thing I'm going to do is just take a highlighter. I'm going to start with a pink and highlight the same terms with the same color. So I'm starting with pink over at the left-hand side. My first term happens to be an x, so now I'm going to be looking for all x's. And remember, the sign and the coefficient are part of the term. So I've got negative 2x, negative 4x, coming along, negative 15x, and then that looks like all of our x's. So I'm done with my pink. I'm going to pick up a green highlighter next. And it looks like my second term is a positive 3, a constant. So I'm going to highlight all constants and the sign in front of them. So we had a positive 3, we're going to have a positive 5. Moving along, we're going to have a positive 11. And then finally at the end, we've got this negative 15. Okay, and I know that I'm not done because I've still got some terms that aren't highlighted yet, so I'm picking up a third color. This time I've got orange, and we're looking at x squared. So I'm going to have a negative 4x squared and a positive 2x squared. Okay, so my whole string is now highlighted. Now I can sort of just like combine my work or combine those like terms. So I'm going to use the commutative property to get these same colored terms together and then figure out what they would add to. So my pinks, I'm going to start out with negative 2x. And we could say plus negative 4x if you feel more comfortable with that. I'm going to say just minus 4x. And then finally, minus 15x. When I combine these all together, negative 2 and negative 4x make negative 6x. Remember, I'm just adding the coefficients. And then minus 15x. So total, my x's are negative 21x. So my pinks ended up totaling to negative 21x. Now I move into my constants. So I'm looking for all the greens. All the greens are going to be a positive 3, plus 5, plus 11, and then finally minus 15. So when I combine these together, I get 8, 19, 19 minus 15 ends up being a 4. Okay, so my greens all combine to make a 4. And I know this might seem kind of slow and tedious, but we need some sort of process or way to really keep track of our thinking rather than trying to do it all in our heads, or we're going to make a mistake probably eventually, sooner or later, most of us. Okay, so now we're going to deal with our x squared, our orange terms. We've only got 2 of them, so negative 4x squared and then plus 2x squared. When we add their coefficients, here it is, negative 4 and plus 2, we end up with negative 2x squared. So that is my orange term. When we are simplifying an expression by combining like terms, we want to rewrite our simplified version with our terms going from highest power to lowest. So in this case, my highest power, or the exponent, the highest exponent I see, is the x squared. So I'm going to start by writing negative 2x squared. My second highest exponent would be just the single x, so minus 21x. And then last but not least are the constants. The constants just always sort of end up last. We're going to have the plus 4 there at the end. And that is our simplified version. Go ahead and work on the other two at your tables.